Greetings. My name is Dr. Douglas Ahern. My friends call me, my friends call me a lot of things, but my friends just call me Doug or Douglas. I am a professor and a doctor of forensic psychology. I am also a federal and state criminal defense attorney. I operate mostly in South Texas. I live and work along the border in north of Reynosa, Mexico, and then also up to Houston. But I do federal work, Dallas and San Antonio, Beaumont, all over the place. Wanted to just introduce myself. This is going to be the first of a number of videos that I plan on posting, and I'm going to discuss a few things. I want to talk about the law. I want to talk about sociology. I want to talk about psychology. I want to talk about, my different observations of things that are going on in the world. Not necessarily my opinions, just observations and things that I think that we all need to think about, things that are important. Just as part of this introduction, I wanted to give a little background of who I am and where my experiences come from. I was born in California, and when I was younger, we moved out to Norman, Oklahoma. Thus, I am an Oklahoma Sooner fan, but I'm also a Las Vegas Raiders football fan. Support the Astros from living in Houston. After we had lived in Houston or in Oklahoma for a while, I ended up moving to Dallas, and then after Dallas, not a Cowboys fan, by the way. Um, After I left Dallas, I went in the military. I served in the U.S. Navy for 3 years active duty and then 2 years active reserves as an operations specialist. I did my time in my service on a guided missile cruiser, operating and working in the Combat Information Center. And we went around the world, spent some time in the Persian Gulf, other areas of the planet. After that, I got out. I went back to school primarily, but I was also working. I worked for a while as a boilermaker pipe fitter in the chemical plants and the oil processing plants in Houston. They're very good work. It's good work. It's hard work, but it's good work. And then I was actually present in November of 1989 when a Phillips petroleum plant blew up in Pasadena, Texas, and killed a bunch of people. I was there that day, not at that plant, but an adjacent plant. And I decided to do something safer. So I joined what was then U.S. Customs Service, and I went to go work in Nogales, Arizona, chasing drug smugglers and alien smugglers and you name it up and down the U.S.-Mexico border. Ultimately, probably not safer, that much safer, but it is what it is. And then from there, I transferred around from Arizona. I worked primarily in McAllen, Texas, but I also spent some time in Brownsville. I spent some time in Laredo. And before I finished up my career, I was a national director for trend analysis. And in that capacity, basically, we were setting up intelligence groups around the country. And we were using behavior analysis and open source and human intelligence to put together predictive analytical models, and then also actually do live targeting of people that were involved in bad things. At some point or the other, I decided I took an early retirement from Customs, which is now Customs and Border Protection, because I thought that it was better for my family that I do something else. So I left from Customs in Washington, CBP in Washington, and went and finished up my degree at University of Houston downtown. Got a degree in criminal justice. From there, I went 3 weeks later and I started law school at South Texas College of Law here in Houston. Upon graduation from there, I started my law practice. Again, I focused primarily on criminal defense work, but using some of the military benefits that I had in the state of Texas. I also picked up a master's degree in international law. I picked up a master's degree in intellectual property rights and information law. Both of those came from the University of Houston Law Center. I picked up a master's degree in security studies, which is essentially national security related study information from Angelo State University. And then I started my PhD work in forensic psychology at Walden University. From Walden, I picked up a master's of philosophy in forensic psychology. And I recently was conferred my doctorate, my PhD in forensic psychology from Walden, and that was in February of 2023. So I've got a pretty decent background. I like to talk about crime. I like to talk about why people do what they do. I like to talk about a variety of different topics. If anybody sees this, they have any ideas, they want to talk about something, obviously something of good, don't get everybody in trouble, then let's talk. But in the meantime, I'll probably be doing these, mostly short videos, 5 minutes, things of that nature, and talking about the topics that interest me. So thank you, and welcome to my channel.